Hello everyone, welcome to MNS Naturographer channel. As a follow-up to our previous events, Sekinchan and Beyond and Macrophotography outing with Cheng Photography Club, we are privileged to have our images reviewed and printed at Allan Wong FineArt Printing Services in Kuen. In this two-part episode, we present to you our guest Mr. Allan Wong, who provides high-quality fine art printing services and will walk us through step by step in the process of editing and printing either photographic images or even paintings. So let's begin with part 1. Enjoy.
Allan, and I've been doing photography since like them, my secondary school. That's how I started, and going through a lot of process. And one of the things that I always frustrated is, after spending so much effort, to shoot, to buying so many equipment, and often I find the print is not so encouraging, So always ask myself a question that whether something I did wrong, why my picture is no good, why my print is not good, why I see, especially when I go overseas, I look at the exhibit on the work from others, why they are so good and we cannot get a good one. So then it all come back to, how to do a good print. So I started even with dark room. Those days I should film. I have my own dark room. I become like part of my life. Everything I want to do, I want to know the scientific way. I don't want the agak way. So when it comes to photography, it's always a very difficult situation because in short, photography is a marriage between art and science. So you can have the scientific part, but if you don't have the artistic understanding, you will somehow face the difficulties. So that's why photography has to have both. Okay, so I started this digital printing also after I finished my last assignment. I spent 10 years in Shanghai. Then come back, I thought I want to do something on my own as a hobby and also as a business. So I think this would be a good thing for me to do something that I love, and also I can provide these services to share with all others. So welcome all of you today. In general, it's MNS or people who love nature. I love nature too. Yeah. Okay, so to a lot of you will think that being a printer is just simple of buying a machine. Okay, but actually there's a lot of work behind this. Okay, I'll start with the machine. Okay, you can buy a printer either from a desktop printer or to a larger machine like that. But there are a few differences that you should know. Be made aware by when you go to a printer or you buying a printer, what you should understand. Okay, first of all, in this kind of inkjet printing, they are generally divided into two categories. Okay, I'm sharing with you only on inkjet printers. Okay, fast. So, for example, if you like to print a brochure, a book, or even a catalog, such printer are able to print like 120 pages in a single minute.
In a minute?
Yeah. Okay, that's why it's cheap. Okay, or even if today if you order this photo book online, they are CMYK printed. Okay, that's why they can offer you free this and that, very cheap. But bear in mind, CMYK is a printer who can handle 4 to 5 colors. I also like the print to be mounted in such a way that even you don't have a screen. Okay, so you don't have reflections, and you can actually see the details of the print better. Yeah, the texture of the paper, and you can also appreciate the tone from the material itself. Okay.
It does.
You can actually clean it, no problem. You can use a duster, or even you pour a cup of water on it, it's okay. Because this is archival quality. Yeah. Okay. So these are some of the basic things you know about printers. Next, I go to the material. Okay, the print material. So we are so lucky that we live in such an age that today we have so many different print material available. Not to say such material is something invented new. No, human has made papers for, I don't know, maybe thousands of years. But the one who really made the paper in such a good quality are the companies who have long histories. So the papers that I work with is mainly is Muller. This is the oldest, world oldest paper mill in the world. They are more than 500 years old. So they've been making papers for artists to paint since those age. Yeah. So paper that they made also they stress a lot on the long lasting. So the paper were made in many different material. So in this little book, I made an example of all, but here there's a short summary here. Okay, 3 groups. The first group here is all we call the art papers. So art papers are the papers that you print on the art paper. It comes with different tones, different thickness, different texture. Depends on how you like your subject. The second group are the canvases. Actually, canvas you have a lot more. Yeah, maybe there are 5 or 6 different kind of canvas, but I don't carry all. It's too many to carry. So basically, I have matte, glossy, and some with a more coarse fabric. Some are finer fabric. So I only carry 3 canvas. And photo papers, I think you all know what is photo papers, but these are the special photo papers that it has. It has a unique characters, and it's also acid free. Okay, there are photo paper which is not acid free. That's why all our old parents' pictures are all faded, because it's not acid free. Yeah. So 3 main categories. But what is important for me is, okay, the other reason is why I have so many papers is because I love this. Okay, so whenever there's a new papers which I think has potential, I'll buy it. Just try. Yeah, just try and explore the potential of such paper. Now, most of the printers don't carry so many papers, maybe due to inventory or economical reason. But for me, I love papers, so I have all these collections. Okay, but to have so many paper is not an easy job, you know, besides just to handle the inventory. Every papers that you buy, you need to do a proper calibration. So this whole calibration process will give you a final output, what we call ICC profile. You need to use a scientific way to scan this paper, calibrate the paper, and the software will calculate what are the difference between this paper, and finally you will have the ICC profile. With the ICC profile stored, your image file, if you want to print this paper, then you have to convert the ICC profile to suit this paper. Okay? In another words, is let's say you come to my place and then you have your image, you print on this paper A, so you have ICC profile paper A. If you take this file, go to a next printer, okay? But the printer doesn't have the ICC profile. You print on other papers, you will have different results. Okay, so this is how it works. It's a long process, but I try to help you out to understand. Size paper. This A4 size paper the software will tell us to print this chart. This is a color chart generated by the software. So once this color chart is printed, then I'll have to use a scanner. So this is a scanner that we have to scan through every colors, and then the scanner will feed back to the computer, so the software will know what are the differences. That means if this color is supposed to be blue or pink or whatever, the software will make the comparison. Okay, this color print on this paper, how it looks like. Okay, how accurate is the color? Okay, so the software will do the calculation. After the scanning, then the software will generate a second chart. This is stage 2. Okay, this second chart is a compensation of this first chart. So you know it has to give more blue or more yellow or more what. Then you do the scanning again. So once you do that, yeah, then the software will have the best result of these two. So then you will have an ICC profile embedded into this paper. You understand?
So next time when you print, you put the profile, you do the color correct?
Yeah. I only need to do once. Okay, for this paper, this is the ICC. If I don't have an ICC, I cannot get a good result. And one of the important things you should know also, the quality of the papers play a part. It doesn't mean that if I do this process, for sure I'm not going to get all the colors in 100%, because the quality of the papers, beside what material is made of, the most important thing for inkjet is the quality of the coating. A good coating will able to hold the color. A bad coating, some problem may occur on certain color. Not to say all the color will fail. Some colors, especially those more vibrant color like maybe the strong magenta or those lemon green, that kind of more vivid color. A lot of people cannot hold it. And also when it comes to black and white, the tone between the full black to full white the spectrum is different from papers to paper. Some paper will have higher depth, higher dynamic, and some not. So this is something we will know from the characteristic of the paper. So in another words, if I just tell you, oh, it's simple as you go and buy a desktop printer that they tell you photo quality that you can print, I will say you can, but to a certain limit. Because you have less number of ink, and you have no color profile, and you don't know what paper you're buying, or the paper you buy is just the normal commercial ones, and then you cannot go too far because of such limited conditions. Okay, and I'm also not to encourage you. Oh, okay, in that case you go and buy such a printer. you know, it's just too much work unless you're crazy like me. Okay, so generally, printer is one, the media is another one, and also the work of calibration. So to take the thing even further, what I do more is that for your information, the majority of my customers are not photographers. Okay, the majority of them, 80% of my business are artists who paint. And you know, artists who paint, they are very sensitive to colors because they mix their own colors, right? So why they come to a printer, you know, where they can paint? Okay, it's a trend now because if you are an artist and you only sell your painting, you can only sell once, right? Okay, but these days people are getting smart now. You know? Okay, now I give you two prices. You can buy the original for a big price, or if you want authentic print, okay, or either authentic print or digital versions, then the price is a lot cheaper. In this context, you can look at things in two aspects. One is if you are those fanatics who want to have more tone, you want to have as much tone as possible in your print, then you probably will go for this brighter paper, which uses the OBS. So then you have more from white to black. Yeah. But if you want your pictures to have more art elements, you don't stress so much on like getting all the tones out in one print, then you can go for warm paper. That is the general rules. People who want to have the picture like pops, yeah, with all the dynamic range, they will always choose the bright paper. Yeah. Earlier on, I mentioned I work mainly with Allan Wong. So Allan Wong, because they are the world's oldest paper mill, so they also very famous in art. Okay, so they provide this this system is called the authentication. So certificate of authenticity. So it comes. So the thing comes in a box. You have a blank sheet. You have this hologram sticker in pair. Okay, so this hologram stickers, it has a serial number here. The two numbers is identical. So one will be pasted on the certificate with the description of the artist and so on. The other one will paste on the print. So this certificate, it says who is the artist and also what is the number of limited print. So this artist only 5 prints. Okay, printed on what paper, when, and also signed by the artist. So anyone who buys his print will have these certificates, this sticker and this sticker behind the print, and then once they bought it, then the final owners will have to go to this German website to register. So this number belongs to you. So you have the description of the paper, and this is the print side. Okay, but it's also difficult for you to understand if you are not playing with this long enough. But that basically will give you an idea of different papers. See, like this is metallic pearl. Yeah, so it's also very nice. So different papers. Of course, beside Allan Wong, I also carry the other main brand is this Permajet. Permajet is also another brand from UK. They also produce great paper. The price is a lot cheaper than Allan Wong. So if you're under budget constraint, you can go for this. And some papers are made in China. China also has its long history of of paper making, especially the rice paper. It's one of the unique things. But I don't carry the other one, the Japanese washi paper. You heard of washi paper? It's too expensive, I don't want to take. Nobody will pay for it, you know. So I also have silk fabric, also made in China.